what's going on out there, YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVS. I'm back at again for a brand new non-spoiler review for the Vampire Diaries. This is episode 12. The name of it is Postcards from the Edge. What did I think about this episode? To be quite honest with y'all, I had a little bit higher expectations for it than I think I probably should have, because I was kind of disappointed in this episode, to be real. And I'll tell you why. I'll talk about the strong points and I'll talk about the weaker points. One of the strongest points, I guess, was the connection between Damon and Stefan. Like the realization of what happened, what transpired the last episode. Damon burning alive the love of his life due to his mental imbalance, as well as even Stefan's inability to be able to deal with it as well, because for him to get free of the spirit world, he had to basically relinquish his own brother. And it's like a part of him died in this episode as much as it did with Damon, because it showcases Damon like kind of just on the ground, just kind of like interacting with somebody, and I thought he was going to kill him instantaneously, but he interacts with them just for you to understand just how lost and damaged he really is. I don't even think he's even grieved over the fact of the situation. And so throughout this whole episode, he's trying to battle all the situation that's going on. Like he wants to feel pain, he wants to feel death in and of itself. And I've never taken Damon, I mean, he'll sacrifice his life for anybody or certain people that he loves, but I've never taken him for a person just kind of suicidal. That's more Stefan's side. And this one is definitely kind of Damon's. But I think the stronger moments were the point when Stefan kind of confronts Damon about what happened. And even the stronger point is what happens, transpired between Stefan and Julian. Just from Stefan realizing that all this was a byproduct of what Julian did. The fact that he killed basically his unborn child, drove his mother away from him and Damon, and at the same exact time, like what happened with them in the spirit world is all because of what Julian did, even though it's technically Stefan's fault, because Stefan was the one that kind of provoked it. But either way, like that comes to an interesting resolve. And I think those were the strongest moments of this episode. I think that Matt's interaction with the kind of the deputy or whatever, I thought that was really cool, because Matt deserves somebody. He's a cool person. But as far as the interaction is concerned, there wasn't that much going on. Matter of fact, I'm still trying to figure out this whole Hunter situation, but that kind of gets explained a little bit. But now let's talk about some of the stuff that I didn't like necessarily. As far as the things that I didn't like in this episode, it was definitely the heretics. I'm not going to say that the heretics were irrelevant, other than just to set up Caroline's birth situation. But I really don't care about the girls that are, I guess, kind of in love still with each other and dealing with the process of that. Which I'm talking about Nora and, what is the girl's name? Nora and Louise? I think that's her name. I think Valerie's story arc with Stefan is a lot more tangible and understanding, given that she's kind of needed to get Caroline through the situation. But like Nora just being in interaction with Bonnie and trying to make certain people jealous, and just, I mean, it just came so convoluted. Like I was like, I don't want to see this. Like, be quite honest with y'all, I actually recorded certain reactions that I have in this episode. They're so bland that I think I'm not actually going to show y'all some of the sequences I've actually recorded, because I was like, I was really bored. I was really bored generally. I was like, I really don't have any investment in these characters, even though, I mean, it's compelling, they're good actors. It's just, I don't care to see it. Even Julian with like all his like gang and just taking over the town, now there's a whole mess of vampires all over Mystic Falls because of him. It's like I still don't care about that. I mean, there's a sequence where they had like Damon basically kind of like in a fight kind of arena, and I was thinking this is gonna be really compelling, pretty epic, you know, choreographed pretty well. And I actually, to be honest with you, I've seen Damon do a lot more epic fights. I think when Klaus Alark was like kind of a technical original like Hunter, and like Damon and Stefan were trying to defend themselves, I thought that was a better, way better fight than the setup that was going on in this Fight Club kind of situation. It just didn't work for me, to be quite honest with you. And then the run of the mill of all of this is definitely Bonnie. She kind of gets put in an interesting place between Nora and Louise, and the whole situation was they were trying to find somebody, which I can't talk about. I'll talk about that in the spoiler review. But it just, I mean, the way that they're pulling Bonnie all over the place and with other people, it lowers the show, man. I think that this is probably gonna be my lowest rated episode for me personally. I think the end was actually pretty interesting as far as weight is concerned, given like what I know about this flashback situation. But I mean, honestly, the biggest moment for me was definitely Stefan and Damon and probably Julian and Stefan. And that's it. I give this episode, I was gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10, but I'm gonna be gracious and give it a 7 out of 10. I don't think it necessarily deserves that. I think it should have been a lot better. I mean, last episode, I thought I was kind of a step down from the other episode, but it's like this one, I just couldn't feel it, y'all. I apologize, but y'all know I'm keeping 100 with y'all. Hopefully, let me know in the comment section below what y'all thought about this episode. Keep it locked, JVS. We ain't gonna stop. I'll be right back for a spoiler-filled review of this episode. Peace, y'all.